Yep, you know what time it is, man. This is, of course, your favorite channel, man, CTB. It's Chant Up Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Slay. So what up to him, man?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
Most definitely. You know what just tuned into, man? This is a segment we call here, Chin Check. Which we rock you guys a chin with boxing news, boxing information, boxing rumors. Sometimes we put a bit of money in you guys' pocket by giving you the odds of the fight. But this time, it's kind of a fight review / a post-fight update, I guess you can say. A lot of things has happened in the last 2 days when it comes to the Devin Haney versus Lomachenko fight. A lot of celebrities reaching out, a lot of boxers reaching out, a lot of different difference of opinion. This fight is huge, and I want to get my I get my post fight on Saturday night. But my boy Mon here now, so I want to get his post fight first before I start this, the news show. What was your thoughts about the process of the fight, man? And what happened since the end of the fight? What was your score? Who do you have winning? And what do you think about the fallout after the announced who's won?
First of all, I want to give credit to both fighters because they put on a hell of a show. It was a highly competitive fight. It was a chess match, the whole fight. It was back and forth. I really enjoyed it from a fan perspective. As far as how the fight went, it went almost exactly like I thought it would go. I thought that Haney would win round. I thought Lomachenko would have his moment. I thought it would be back and forth. And I thought at the end, that Haney would pull it off. But then on my scorecards that I was going through them, I had it a draw. I had Haney getting out early. I had Lomachenko coming up late and making up a lot of ground. And then that last round, which would have won Lomachenko the fight if he won the 12th round, he gave it away to Haney, which made it 6-6 on my cards. So that's what I got for my card. As far as let's talking about it, I was at work that night. And I couldn't get around to having a raw review with you initially, but I'm glad I didn't because I got a chance to look at the fight again. I got a chance to dissect it and think about it for a couple of days to see what everybody else thought about it and to come up with this review to what I thought about people calling a robbery. The problem I have with the robbery thing is that it's too many people that cause robbery when it's 75, 66, 75. I don't, like you said, me and you talked off camera. I don't agree with the 112, the 116 to 112 scorecard, which they were saying Devin Haney had to win 8 rounds. I didn't see him winning 8 rounds. From what I seen when I watched the fight twice, I will admit it was a lot of swing rounds. It was 4 or 5 rounds that could have went either way. And once time you have 4 or 5 swing rounds, you're gonna have a variety of different scorecards from different people, depending on what you like. I also tend to see that when it comes to the underdog. When in a close fight, people tend to give close rounds to the underdog for a reason. Because we just human. Everybody when they jump on the underdog, they think they got a chance to win. They get in some of those close rounds, and you just in your own heart want to get around Lomachenko because he's the underdog fighter. So I can understand people going 7-5 either way or a draw. I have no problem with that. But the robbery thing, I get sick of. And then you got a lot of these celebrities coming out talking that don't know anything about the sport. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to judge a fight. Like, even Boosie came out and said that he didn't see Haney win 1 round. And I thought that was retarded for him to come out and say that. You didn't see him winning 1 round. So how can I take you seriously on what you said is who you thought won the fight? I think we have a problem too with commentary. I think if you're a casual fan, commentary can influence you heavily on who you think is winning the round. That's why a lot of times, the second time I watch the fight, I just mute the screen and watch it. And when I mute the screen, it was a lot closer than what I thought. Because initially, I still think that Lomachenko overall got the best of Devin Haney, even though I had to draw on my card because people got to understand when you're calling a fight or judge or scoring a fight, you can't score it by the whole fight as a whole. You score it round to round. So round to round, Devin Haney won rounds here and there, which could have made it a 6-5, 6-6, 7-5 type fight. But overall, if you watch the fight as a whole, to me, Lomachenko had more of the bigger moments, which can influence you to think that he won the fight easily, which he didn't. So I don't have, and then you also have my last point is you're supposed to take it from the champ. A lot of people say that. They probably say you can't. If you're gonna win, and that champ has the belt, you have to win convincingly or make it so clear that you can't lose the fight. And he didn't. It was a close fight. I understand Lomachenko anger about losing the fight because he did do enough to win, but in the reality of the fight, it was a close fight. So I don't have a problem with either or. I just have a problem with people always calling robbery in a fight this close. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? We had a great fight on Saturday night, and instead of us enjoying that great fight, what's the talk of the fight? The next day is the so-called rivalry, the politics in boxing, and that the sport is corrupt. And I hate that for a sport that we both love, and we had a great night of boxing.
I'm gonna be honest, I did hate it that they called it a robbery before, but I'm kind of starting to like it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm starting to like the fact that so many celebrities are coming out and stating who they thought won. A lot of celebrities picked Haney and said Haney won. A lot of celebrities coming out and saying that Lomachenko won. But little celebrities, I really don't get too much, like you said, I don't get too much solace to their opinions because they're casual fans. Just because they're celebrities and they popular don't mean they above a casual fan. In my opinion, Boosie Bad, like you said, Boosie's he's by far a casual fan. Nelly, I think Nelly came out. He's definitely a casual fan. They might watch boxing, but they're still casual fans. But I take the opinions of professional fighters and announcers and old trainers. Like I think Taylor Atlas came out and said he said the same thing we saying. Why it wasn't a robbery? That 116-112 judge need to be looked at about how they judge fights. And I think like I put it in the commentaries, Shakur Stevenson came out and said, of course he got common interest. I mean, either one he fight will be a good payday for him. But I seen a lot of people saying that Shakur Stevenson just hating on Devin Haney. I don't take that as hate. I think Shakur Stevenson, he confident he'll beat both guys. I don't think he really cares which one he fight for undisputed. I think he gave his honest opinion in the moment and made his pick on who he thought won. But I will say this though, while I do like the fact that it's blown up the way it's blown up, because it happened to every great fighter and every great rivalry has it. This is Devin Haney's first rivalry. We always say Tank Davis is a rivalry and Shakur Stevens is a rivalry. They haven't fought yet. This is Devin Haney's first rivalry right here. Mayweather had a rivalry when he fought Castillo. He had to fight him twice because everybody thought he lost that fight. Floyd Mayweather broke his hand. He wound up fighting the second half of that fight with one hand. The judges gave that fight to Mayweather. Everybody, I don't know if you wasn't around it. If you probably went around in boxing then, like we old guys, so we've been around for a long time. But everybody was pretty much saying that Mayweather lost that fight. To this day, people to this day still say that Mayweather lost that fight. To this day. So what Floyd do? Right, the very next fight, he fought him again. He dominated him. More recently, Mayweather fight when he fought Marcos Mariano. Everybody said, he had some success early in the fight. Everybody was in the uproar saying Marcos Mariano beat Mayweather. So what Mayweather do? The very next fight, he went in there and dominated the guy. I can go farther back. De La Hoya and Shane Mosley. De La Hoya, Shane Mosley. When Shane Mosley beat De La Hoya, it was a large uproar. Everybody said De La Hoya won that fight. So what Shane Mosley do? It won immediately, but when they got later on down the line, it was like they fought at 154 that time, I believe. He beat him again. Beat him more convincingly in the second fight. So if you Devin Haney, you had to take this for a grain of salt, man. You had a fight that was a little rougher than you thought it was. My opinion, you had the wrong game plan. You went in there that you was going to bully the smaller guy. That wasn't the case. So in my opinion, what you need to do now is humble yourself. Take all this criticism you got, all your predecessors, all your contemporaries, like when it comes to Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis said you lost. All these guys that you're saying that you lost and saying that you easy work now, they see things in you that makes you easy work. The payday gonna be there. The payday gonna be great. Like I said, you got so many people talking about you lost. The second fight gonna be bigger than the first fight. Mm-hmm. So you have to rematch him. All this talk about you going to 140 and all that. I'm gonna be honest, you might want to wait another fight. You was gonna wait anyway. If Tank Davis came up, you was gonna wait anyway. If Shakur Stevenson possibly came up, you probably would have waited anyway. So I honestly feel like this payday is big enough for Devin Haney to consider a rematch with him. Would he do it? That's another question for another day. That's my first question to you. Do you think that this fallout and this backlash that he got from doing his job, which was he won the fight, do you think this backlash warrants him enough, and the payday he gonna get warrants him enough to rematch Lomachenko immediately? Or do you think he should move to 140? Or you think he should look to greener pastures when it comes to possible Tank Davis? Or I don't know if Shakur Stevens will be a bigger fight or not. I think Lomachenko, Devin Haney too would be a bigger fight. But I'll ask that question next. What do you think he should do first? I've asked that question first.
Before I answer the question, I will say one more thing, going back on what we said. American boxing fans, we got to stay on par, man. We got to support our fighters. Like I said, even if you thought he lost over a robbery. I don't think you should come out publicly as a superstar or as a celebrity and say that. Like in Ukraine, I guarantee you, if anybody thought Lomachenko lost, you'll never see a Ukrainian come out and say it. Never. It's only American boxing fans. But we'll talk about that another day. But back to what you saying, yeah, he definitely need to rematch him. I think Lomachenko earned a rematch. I thought it was a great fight. I think it has a bigger storyline, and I think it'll sell. The only problem I have is if Tank Davis fight is available, I'm not mad at him for taking it. But like you said, because Tank Davis is the cash man. When the cash man come calling, you got to go get the bag. You can't risk getting a competitive fight with Lomachenko and losing that big bag. So in that case, if Tank wants you next, you go run to Tank Davis. If that fight is not available next and you go to 140, it's not gonna look good. It's gonna look bad. It's gonna look like you ran from Lomo. It's gonna look like you ran from Tank Davis and scored. That may not be the case, like you said, because I think that his 135 days is coming to an end because, like you said, he's a big guy. But the fact of the matter is, it's a lot of question marks in that fight, and all the greats that you just named, they put a explanation point on them winning the fight by doing a rematch and proving that they were the better fighter. You know what I'm saying? If you want to put yourself in that legendary status, you talk about it a lot, and saying you want to be one of the great like Mayweather and Sugar Ray Leonard and these guys, you have to be able to, when you have a decision that's controversy in it, you have to directly face it and fight that guy.
Yeah, I agree. You have to face it. Like I said, especially when the payday is great, because you can duck it and say it wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? All the money ain't been put up.
Journeyman or something.
Yeah, journeyman or something. Like you can then use it as an excuse and move on. But this fight, I think, is massive. So for some reason, I think Bob Brown gonna want to do it anyway. Bob Brown gonna want that payday. So Bob Brown gonna pay for it, I believe. Especially, Lomachenko is one of his biggest cash cows, and Devin Haney's pretty much done with Top Rank. That was his only obligation, was a Lomachenko fight. So now, if he won a shot at that belts again, I know Bob Brown gonna put all kind of money up for it. So it's up for Tank Davis to pull up the bag too.